Hey everyone, Broman Jenkins here. Welcome back to a little bit more of easy redstone tutorials. And today I'm going to cover what I promised to cover a little while ago, which was a redstone clock. And let's punch these out. Yeah, most people don't build these, to be completely honest. They're useful for certain things. If you want to set up a minute timer so you can guess when the sun's going to go down, you can set up an 11-minute timer to let you know when the sun's going to go down as well. But some people use these for aesthetic purposes, like lighthouses. And this is what happens if you try to set up a redstone clock in the most traditional fashion with a bunch of repeaters set to the minimum speed, basically. These are all set to max speed, or max slowness, I should say. Some of them are just normal. Anyways, if you try to set one up like this, for, let's say, a lighthouse, you'll see this is where the glowstone would all go, and then when this thing hits, it goes down. Of course, you can also have the glowstone come up out of the floor instead, but this is just more pleasing to me, I guess. But if you look at it, I don't have a lot of space between each one of these things, or I should say, I don't have a lot of space to work with each one of these. Even with how this works out, I've only got a few items here. I could actually add one here if I wanted to, and a few here, but in terms of a building, this wouldn't work out. And you can see these aren't all even. You can't really make these even either. That's a bit of a problem. Let's just shut this off the easiest way possible. If you try to build this into a building, this is just me attempting one. And as you can see, I didn't even get it all wired up before I just gave up on it. You see, your issue here is this gap, and this gap, and this gap. These things aren't going to line up, and it's not going to be pretty. Look at this. Yeah, I really shouldn't have attempted to do this, because this isn't the way you're supposed to do one of these, but it's a good case for building first, and then with the redstone, of course, and then building around it. Now, if I wanted to build something that was a little bit better for a situation like this, here's a very rough sketch of how that would work. Let's find ourselves the button. Here it is. As you can see, this goes in a very smooth wave formation, over and over and over again. Now, the way this works can be writ larger if you need to, and this actually is another function, or another way you could actually do a redstone signal extender. Hello, dog. And it's fairly simple. All you have to do is set up your button, of course, redstone, and because these not signal extenders, but rather repeaters, are all facing one way, they won't power more than just the ones that are facing them. So it's pretty easy. Repeater, redstone, repeater, redstone, repeater, redstone, repeater, redstone, and then you can just send one of these repeaters to each piston. Or if you want to, a block holding a redstone torch, or a piston in the ground. Doesn't matter, really. And you can see here, I don't lose really any space right here. I could actually extend a piece of redstone out to do this space here, but I've refrained from doing such a thing. Now, most people are saying, well, that's great, but I still have a bunch of other spaces to deal with. Welcome to this solution. Yeah. That's pretty good, right? I thought it was pretty good. Let's knock that out. So this is very large. You can scale this down if you want to, but if you're going to build a building, you might as well make it pretty big. Now, the advantages of this type, if you're going to put it in a building, which I have been too lazy to do, are myriad, really. One is you can start it from anywhere you want to, as long as you have access to a piece of redstone. Where in the other one, you need to start it pretty much from the outside, no matter what. Doggish. And the other one is that it's fairly easy to set up. It's much more redstone repeater intensive, as you can see, because you're trying to run these things all to this. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. Hit a couple of these things with some redstone. The repeater goes to the next one, 2 repeaters, next one off the redstone, blah blah blah. So it works basically like the other one, as you can see. Use a repeater or a piece of redstone directly from one to go to that. And yeah, I mean, it's a very simple design that works out real well. And this gap, of course, could be lessened. I just built it like this because I felt like it. So I could have continued this on to the edge here and here and here, and I'd been totally fine. But, you know, I'm lazy. I built this when I was getting ready to go to work this morning. And that's how redstone repeaters work, or redstone clocks with repeaters. I'm probably going to use something like this in my next house in my real world, and hopefully it'll come out just as well as these did if I remember how to make them. Well, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.